Good afternoon and welcome into Mary's Kitchen. I hope you get a chance to join me today because I am going to make a fantastic chicken curry. I want to thank a lot of new people who have started following me, and thank you for coming on to Mary's Kitchen. Here's where I make proper homemade food, make it simple for you, make it easy, and answer all your questions. So if you're just not sure how to do something, please feel free to ask. I'm just going to wait a few moments and let one or people jump on here. I've got my new little t-shirt on today. In a world of sardines, be a lobster, and be a wine-drinking lobster. I got this in my friend's shop today, Georgia May. If anybody's interested in knowing more about it, just say so in the comments. So how many of you like chicken curry? I think a great many of you. And I think the thing is to decide when you're making a chicken curry or any kind of curry dish, do you want it mild, medium, or blow your head off? So anyway, that's up to you to decide, and depending on how much chili that you decide that you want to put in. So just wait another few minutes, get one or two people on here, and then we'll start cooking. This is a pretty simple, okay? We're using some fresh spices, and we're using, cardamom, cumin, turmeric, garam masala, and some coriander. So these are all ready for you in the supermarkets, in the bottles, and very, very simple to use. I like to use coconut oil for my, when I'm cooking, especially when I'm cooking a curry, and it's much healthier version rather than using oil. So if you're coming on now, say hello. Hi, Lori. How are you? Nice of you to come on. Thank you very much. We've got a lot of new faces that have been coming on to Mary's Kitchen, which is great, and I appreciate it. Leah, how are you, dear? Nice of you to come on. I know it's early morning for you there. Good. I'm just going to heat my pot up. So this is probably one of the best ever chicken curries I think I'm possibly going to make. All right. Oh, people are piling on now. That's great. Hi. Oh, you want it? You're going to come over and have... Leah, I wish you would come over and have some curry with me. So here's my coconut oil. All right. And I'm going to put that. It's about 2 tablespoons. I like to use that because it's a healthier version than using sort of refined oils, etc. I quite sometimes use ghee, butter, but that's a little bit more fattening. And Janice, hi, you've come on. Lovely. Great to see you. So I'm just going to let that melt for a moment. And I did advertise this live event so 1 or 2 people can get on here and who might have missed it normally. So I just let that melt. And while that's melting, I'm just going to turn the heat down a little bit. And I've got 1 rather nice chopped onion here. And as you know, I do the cheats method. I go to the supermarket and I buy my onion already chopped up. Saves a whole lot of time, whole lot of mess, and a whole lot of smelly fingers. All right, so I'll just pop that in. And along with that, I've got 3 chopped garlic cloves here, and that's going in. Now, I'm going to put some ginger in here, but I'm going to do the very lazy way. So I'm going lazy ginger paste, which you can buy also garlic puree, and you can also buy chili, and you can buy coriander as well, or cilantro. Ricky Roskovich, how are you? I'm glad you came on. I was hoping, I meant to send you a wee invitation so that you knew that I was coming on, because I know you like to enjoy my videos, and hopefully you'll get a chance to cook this for Kathy. So this is also in my book, so I can always post the recipe, but for those of you that do have my cookbook, it is in the book, and you're able to follow along. I might make a few additions in this that's maybe not in my normal recipe, but I sometimes do that. So I'm going to put some ginger in here, a goodly quantity, because I do like ginger. If you're using fresh ginger, use about a good 1.5 inches of fresh ginger and chop it all up. Okay, so either fresh ginger or the ginger puree. So I'm just going to let that cook for a second. Just let your onions saute a little bit. Just show you in the pan. There you go, very simple. I wish I had a camera above here looking down, but one of these days I'll get more techie. And Jessica, how are you, dear? Nice of you to come on. And Patty Ann, hello, hello. And Kathy, you made it out of the swimming pool. I see my little orchid here, Kathy. You got so many beautiful ones in your garage, I know that. Kathy grows, my friend Kathy that's just come on, she grows the most magnificent orchids in Florida. Her whole garage is full of them. So that's they're nicely sauteing with the garlic and the ginger. Okay? You don't want anything to burn, so just watch your heat. My next thing is I've got some diced up chicken breasts here, about 3 chicken breasts, and I'm going to put them in. There we go. And watch another thing I always share with you when I am cooking with chicken, right? Don't let the raw chicken touch your kitchen surfaces. If you're wiping it with a cloth, if you got some juice on the counter or something, make sure you don't use that cloth for going around and wiping everything else. Like a baby's high chair or something like that, okay? Because chicken can be very, I don't want to say toxic, but you can get quite sick. So you can get quite salmonella from chicken if it's undercooked, etc. And the juice if it's raw. Hello, Jeanette. How are you? Thanks for coming on, Jeanette from Canada, and Kathy from Florida, and Leah from Arizona. Oh, we got everybody coming on. So just, if you do come on, tell me where you're coming. And Ricky Roskovich from Canada. And Jeanette, Ricky lives in Hamilton as well. Well, you live in Dundas now. And so I'm just cooking my chicken a little bit. Mixing it in with the onions, the coconut oil, the garlic, and the ginger. So I'm starting to get a really nice smell going on here. Smells beautiful. I love ginger. In fact, you know what? I'm going to put a little bit more in because I do like it. It's good for you. And there isn't very much more in my little thing here. Yeah. I do like the smell of that. I'll tell you what I've been doing recently. I don't know if you've seen some of my videos on microgreens, but I've recently been saving these little trays from the dog's pate. And I'm using these to grow microgreens in. So that's a real upcycle, isn't it? Just put a couple of little holes in the bottom, little tiny bit of soil, or you can even just put paper towel, put your cress seeds or your other microgreen seeds in there, and within about 4 days, you're going to have some lovely greens to add into your salad. You're on your way. I love your curry, Jeanette says. Jeanette, you're very welcome anytime. You know that. Jeanette's my very good friend from Canada. We've known each other since we were 17 years old, and we're not going to tell you how old we are now, but we were in the class of 74 at Mohawk College. Hello, Diane. How are you? Right, so I'm going to put my spices in now, and normally I like to put, let's see, I like to put about 1 tablespoon. So I've got the coriander here. And I measure with my hand, so that's a good 1 tablespoon. Okay, you just mix that, run that through your chicken. I'm going to put a few cardamom pods, and if you don't know what those are, they're just little pods. They've got little black seeds in them that are very, very tasty. One thing that you do have to be careful is when you're cooking with these that sometimes you get them in your mouth, but they go quite soft when they're cooking, okay? But sometimes people will say, oh, what's that? And That's hardly common. Okay, I'm just going to turn that heat down a wee bit. All right, I got some cumin, so we're going to put a tablespoon of cumin in here. I take the lid off. Let's just put some. There we go. Don't be shy, Mary. Don't be shy. I'm going to put a little garam masala. Here's another one that needs the lid off. I'll put a little garam masala in there. Garam masala is a mix. In fact, in India, the families quite often reveal in their garam masala sauce, because every family makes it different and they add different spices into it. So that's quite a famous sauce. It's got all sorts of things in it. It's got most of like cumin, coriander, turmeric. It's got all sorts of things in it. So it's a real kind of a mix of spice. And then we're going to add some turmeric. I'm not going to add a tablespoon of turmeric because it's really heavy, colors it quite heavily. So I'm just going to add about a teaspoon till I'm happy. There we go. And we're going to do some sea salt in here. I got a new sea salt, so it's working great now. And I'm going to put some pepper. I've got a grinder, but I'm not using my grinder today. So that's that so far. Now I want to put a little bit of tomato paste in here, okay? So Angela, how are you, darling? Nice, thanks for coming on. And Lisa. Okay, so let's put a good, at least squirt, I'd say a good tablespoon and a little bit, Mary's little bit in there. And just mix that through your chicken. Oh, it's looking a lovely color now. Look at this. Now let's bring that up, show you. That's lovely, isn't it? That looks great. And it smells divine. I'm going to put my chopped up 1 red and 1 green chili in here. Okay. Let's not forget anything, Mary. I'll tell you what I like to do. And this isn't my recipe in the book, but I like to add a little bit of mango chutney into my curry. And so I'm going to add a big dollop like that. It just gives it a little bit of sweetness, and it's a little secret ingredient of mine. Okay, bye Leah. Thanks for coming on. I know you're getting ready for your work. Off you go, off you go. So I'm just mixing the spices and put a little bit of mango in there. That's one of my little secret ingredients. Whoops, lost a bit of chicken. There we go. Must have been stirring that a little bit too hard. Okay, after that, I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons, healthy tablespoons of yogurt. Just a plain yogurt, okay? Not strawberry. You could add coconut though. You could add coconut yogurt. But I'm just using a nice plain yogurt. I'm going to put 3 big tablespoons in here because I'll tell you what I'm going to do with the rest of that. I'm going to make a rajita, and that's yogurt, cucumber, a little bit of cumin and coriander, and that's just to cool your mouth when you're eating your Indian food, depending on how hot. Oh, Diane, you appreciate the secret ingredients. Mango chutney. Well, that's what I do, and sometimes when I'm making gravy, if I'm making a roast, a chicken, or a roast beef or something, I quite often add a little bit of red currant jelly in there to the gravy. Wow, boom. You know, it gives it a new, real unique flavor. And it's just a little secret of mine. So that's the curry and everything in there cooking just beautifully. What I'm going to do is I'm going to chop up these tomatoes very quickly. Just while you're on. And Pamela, if you're coming on, Pammy from Miami, I'm using my chopping board, Pammy, which I thank you very much for sending me. I love it. I use it regularly. Okay, and the tomatoes just at the moment here in Scotland aren't very nice. They're not tasting very good, so I've been using them for cooking. Because they certainly aren't nice for cutting up and just eating raw with sandwiches or whatever. A bit hard and a bit really tasteless, terribly tasteless. So I'm waiting for the good stuff, waiting for the good ones to come. I usually buy vine tomatoes all the time, but these vine tomatoes recently have not been very nice at all. And I don't know what's happened to them. It's the first time I noticed that. Just tasteless. These ones are okay. This bunch that I bought for some reason, but some recently are not any good. So I'm going to put that 2 chopped tomatoes in there. Okay, now here I have some beautiful coconut milk, 100% coconut milk. So I'm going to be adding that here too. You might look at this and you might think I need a little bit of water, which is, you're very welcome to add, but just add it slowly. You know, you want your curry to be slightly thick, and this coconut milk is lovely. I bought this coconut milk in Thailand, and next time I'm going to bring more. Go all the way to Thailand to bring coconut milk, but yes, it's a good stuff. And I've watched them make it in the market. It's absolutely amazing. That's why Thai food is so delicious, because they buy everything so fresh in the market, even their coconut milk. There's a woman there with a big machine, and she's making her coconut milk, and she's shredding the coconut and everything. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. You can't beat it. I've gone to a few cooking classes in Thailand, and we always go to the market beforehand and buy the ingredients, fresh ingredients. So if you ever get a chance, you ever are in Thailand, and you get a chance to go cooking, please do, all right? Because it's an experience that you'll never forget. If you get a chance to go to the markets, they start the markets usually at about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, and bring all the fish in. So everybody comes in from all the restaurants to buy the fish. Rona, how are you? Lovely. Trish, you're on. You love spicy. I know you do. So I've got some chilies in here. Another thing that I put in for color is I chopped up some small peppers. So these I bought today. These are lovely little tiny peppers. I don't know if you can get these, but I just buy these sometimes. I don't want a huge amount of pepper taste in the curry. I just want to give it a little bit of color, a little bit of pizzazz. But I'll be honest, I don't put these in right away. I'll tell you when I put these in, probably about 20 minutes before I'm thinking that my curry's finished. So I got to let this cook for about an hour. Another thing that I'm going to put in, and I'm going to put it in now, and that's fresh spinach. That might look like a lot of fresh spinach, but believe you me, that will go down right down to nothing. So I put this in, and quite often when I'm just before serving again, I put another handful in because it gives it a really nice green vibe. And that'll just melt down to nothing. And that is pretty much it. I'll tell you another couple of things that you can do if you want. You could add some shredded coconut to this, which is absolutely lovely. We've added some mango chutney to give it a little bit of sweetness, but a nice sweetness. And just stir that. Oh, lost a spinach leaf. I'm going to show you this in a minute because you won't believe the spinach will absolutely disappear in the pan into the chicken curry, and it looks so lovely. So there you go. I'm going to show you that. Isn't that lovely? And that the spinach will go down and down. Okay, so it's not going to take over your dish. One other last little thing I want to add, and I also add this fresh at the end just before I'm serving, but I add some in now while I'm cooking. And you know what this is, don't you? It's cilantro. Cilantro, coriander, whatever you want to call it. Okay, just chop that up nicely. Don't chop your fingers off. Don't chop your nails off. Keep your nails back. And then I'll probably just go over that again. I love cilantro. I love coriander. It smells beautiful. Some people just do not like it. They think it tastes soapy to them, but I just love the taste of it. And I love the smell of it. And I don't think I could eat a curry without it. So Diane, hi. And Louise, mild, no tomatoes. No tomatoes for you. Okay. And Jean and Brenda. Trish, nice to see you on here. I wonder if you're growing your chilies. Trish is a magnificent cook. She makes chili jam. She's got the most wonderful garden. I'm very envious when I see her doing her garden and doing her canning, which she cans all sorts of things. So last ingredient, we're going to put that cilantro in there, coriander. And as I said to you, I'm going to save my peppers for later, and I'm also going to put an extra little handful of spinach in there just before serving, okay? And that's it. You have got it. You could put, instead of the 2 chopped tomatoes, you could put a tin of chopped tomatoes in there, okay? I sometimes do that, but this time I had those 2 tomatoes winking at me and I decided to use them. So that is now, you'll have a look at this and you'll see how that looks. Isn't that beautiful? You could even put some, when you're serving that, put some toasted almonds on when you're serving if you like. Well, thanks for joining me, and thanks for all the new people who've reached out and followed Mary's Kitchen this week. It's been fantastic, and love seeing you all on here. If you have any questions, any comments that you want answering, I answer them all by myself. All right, I don't have any help, so if there's 200 comments there, I answer 200 questions. And I thank you for coming on, and I hope that you learned something today. Lots of love from my kitchen to yours. See you later. Bye.